What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. I'm going to have a lot more updates for you, so if you're not subscribed, just hit the button, and I'll make sure to keep you in the loop. Now, for this video, as for some of the highlights, I can confirm that the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red with the black tongue will be returning fall 2025. You heard it here first. As well, there's an update on the Air Jordan 12 French Blue, and there's a lot more from Jordan Brand. Also in this video is a few things from Nike, and then we have one thing from ADIDAS and one thing from New Balance. And now, let's jump into the news. ADIDAS and the Simpsons are teaming up once again. This time it will be on the ADIDAS Rivalry Low. And the inspiration is Ned Flanders, specifically his Werewolf Flanders character. Just like the Bart pair, this character is from the 1999 Treehouse of Horror X episode. In the episode, Ned Flanders transforms into a werewolf. And as you can see, the colors here match up to his outfit. And the official colorway is Wild Brown, Wild Pine, and Rose Tone. So we have like this furry material for the 3 stripes branding on the tongue and on the ankle, which represents Ned Flanders becoming a werewolf. The green on the overlay matches his sweater with the pink, his undershirt. And on the insoles, it features the Simpson and ADIDAS branding, as well as the phrase, "I know what you did." I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty clean. They're not as good as the Bart pair, but I do like them. Also, the shoes will come with special packaging. They also come with a leather hang tag and some pins. But as for the release date, this pair is scheduled to drop on October 15th, and the retail price will be $130. We now have release details for Bricks and Wood upcoming collaboration with New Balance on the 1906U. I actually like this colorway, it's very clean. And before I get into the release details, the inspiration for this shoe comes from a Madagascan sunset moth, and I had no idea what that was until I googled it, and the coloring of the shoe matches up perfectly to that moth. Now, if you're looking to buy this pair, they're first going to drop on October 12th via Bricks and Wood, and then we're going to see a global launch take place on October 18th, which means that they'll be available at New Balance and probably select other retailers. Now, at the time of recording, unfortunately, we don't have a retail price. Quick heads up on the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Spider. I've been getting a lot of questions about these. When are they expected to release? As well as other pairs part of the Halloween collection from Nike and Jordan Brand. And unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date. But for the Nike Zoom Vomero 5, they actually just dropped yesterday on Nike.com. Now, at the time of recording, there are some sizes available, not many. And for those that don't know, this is a grade school exclusive. Now, as for the other 2 pairs, I'm unsure of the release date. And if your size isn't available on Nike.com, there's going to be more stores getting them in very soon. Also, the retail price will be $110. We received a first look at the Fragment Nike Air Zoom Spiridon. So this is one of 2 colorways expected to release, and the first colorway featured mostly blue. That was shown off months and months ago. I'm not really sure the new information on them, what's going on with them, but we do have details on this pair. So this one features a white, blue void, and black colorway. Going over the shoes, they stay true to the OG, which includes the breathable mesh on the upper and leather details. We also have Fragment branding on the tongues, insoles, across the blue swooshes, and the outsole. The outsole branding is repeated as well. It looks pretty nice. And then if you look at the side on the mudguard, you'll see a string of numbers. So those numbers represent part of the style code, the season the shoes will be released, and the department. Completing the look is a white midsole. These are nice. I'm a fan of the Spiridon. I'm probably going to go after the OG Sport Red pair. These are okay, but I like the OG much more. Now, as for the release details, unfortunately, we don't have one, but this pair is expected to drop holiday 2024, and the retail price will be $170. Typically, I receive details on upcoming releases, especially when it comes to the Kobe line. Usually I'll receive the colorway, the release date, or the release time frame, style code, and the price. Now, I did not receive any of that for this pair, and just popped up the other day is the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Draft Day. So apparently these are returning. Now, I have yet to receive confirmation from my sources, and unfortunately all we have is that they're going to drop sometime in 2025 and the expected retail price. Now, where this image came from is a reliable source. They usually leak first looks and things like that. I just feel like it's a bit odd because I have no idea about these. It might have been a last minute decision and they went into production. But it does happen. I don't get everything, obviously, and I hope these are releasing. So just to run it back, this is an original colorway. They dropped back in 2010. And for those who don't know, in 1996, during the NBA draft, Kobe Bryant was drafted 13th overall by the Charlotte Hornets. But he never actually suited up for the team. They wound up trading him to the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of you guys already know that story, but for a few that may not know, I wanted to include that in. Now, for this pair, it does look on point compared to the 2010 release. Unfortunately, we only have the one photo, so we can't really check out a bunch of details and things like that, but overall, the color blocking does match up to the Hornets theme. We have white throughout, blue on the swoosh, tongue around the heel, and then we have accents of purple on the branding outlining the swoosh, and a little bit on the heel. I actually like these. I think these are clean. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And as for the release date, unfortunately, we don't have one. We don't even know the season, but sometime in 2025. Since they leaked, I'm kind of thinking spring 2025 if they are dropping, but again, that's not confirmed. And the retail price is expected to be $190. You guys might remember I talked about the upcoming Air Jordan 11 Bred Velvet in a previous video. Unfortunately, the photos were not real of that shoe, but yesterday, photos did leak of an authentic pair, which you can see here. And what I like about the shoe is not just the velvet, but in these photos, it kind of looks like a stone material almost. Maybe I'm tripping, but you can let me know down below. Now, this is going to be a women's release. I've been getting a lot of questions if they'll be available in extended women's sizing. I still haven't confirmed that yet, but I'm hearing no. Again, that's not confirmed, but it's also kind of a letdown because this is a nice shoe. It should be dropping in sizes higher than a 10.5. But as you can see, the pair is on point to the Bred Air Jordan 11. There's some changes. For example, of course, we have velvet, but the branding on the tongue, that will be done in red. We have a metal Jumpman by the heel, and it has a metallic red finish. And then the lace tips on these will be done in red. I'm not sure if the liner will feature velvet, but these images kind of give that appearance. Other than that, we have a white midsole and a red semi-translucent rubber outsole. So as for the release date, this pair will drop November 11th, and the retail price will be $230. Speaking of first looks, we received a first look at the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat. Now, I'm not going to lie, these look amazing in my opinion, and mostly due to the shape being updated. Now, yes, it isn't the best photo, but obviously we can tell what's going on. The blocking, all of that is on point to the first release with the exception of the shape. Even the overlay with the elephant print around the toe, it's a little bit lower. It also comes with patent leather on the mudguard. We have suede up top, and elephant print is also placed on the laces. In my opinion, just because of the shape being updated, this is better than the original release. If I owned the OG pair, I probably would sell them, I'll be honest. And for those that don't know, the pair originally dropped on June 16th, 2007. The retail price back then was $125. Man, the price has really gone up. Even at $125, you got a retro card, which is pretty dope. I wish they would bring the retro cards back in 2025. You're bringing a lot of older retros that had retro cards, so why not just bring those back as well? Especially since we're paying a lot more than we did back then. Of course, there's inflation and things like that, but when you go from $125 to $200, which this pair is expected to retail at, that's quite a big jump. But overall, I'm very happy with the build, the look. It looks great. this will be a pickup for me, and let me know your thoughts down below. Now, as for the release date, that has changed quite a bit, but as of now, they are set to drop on January 11th. They will be available in full family sizing, so we have men's priced at $200, grade school costs $150, preschool is priced at $90, and taller sizes will cost $75. Alright, so a lot of fall 2025 releases I'm getting in. So the ones that I'm going to talk about in this video, some of them have already been talked about, and some of them need an update, and one of them is brand new. But one of the shoes that I was shared with is the Air Jordan 1 High OG Shattered Backboard. Now, we did know they were returning. I assumed it would be fall 2025 since it wasn't part of summer 2025. And basically, I'm here to confirm that, yes, it will be part of Jordan Brand's fall 2025 collection. Now, this shoe is very popular, and it's going to be this time around, and Jordan Brand is bringing them back to celebrate the 10th anniversary. So they will be updated, the overall shape, slightly, and the 2025 pair will feature a black, cell, and starfish colorway. Now, the whole Shattered Backboard nickname, just to run it back, the color blocking matches the uniform that Michael Jordan wore during an exhibition game in Italy. The uniform was orange and black with white details, and back in 1985 during that game, he wound up breaking the backboard, glass everywhere. There's a clip going around. I would like to share it within this video, it would be pretty cool, but I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike. So, and unfortunately I can't share the video, but the images here is the 2015 pair. That's when they originally dropped. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about the insoles, if it'll feature the graphic of shattered glass, basically, and I didn't receive confirmation about that, but they should. If they don't, that would be kind of crazy. A lot of people do like the insoles, aside from the color blocking and the materials. A lot of people are big fans of the material used. Some say it's the best on the Air Jordan 1. I personally would have to disagree with that. It's very nice, but personally, I think the 2011 Air Jordan 1 band, which that's what they were being called then, has the best quality, especially for the price. I think it was about $100 or so. I don't really remember. I know I waited out at Vacaville, I believe it was, outlets, waited in line, got a pair, but it was cheap. Now, I haven't been checking the resale prices on this pair. I know at one point there were over 1,000 for certain sizes. I'm kind of wondering if that price eventually comes down. Either way, I would just wait for these. I'm curious to see the quality on them. Hopefully they are at least the same, or if not better than the 2015 pair. But as of now, this pair will drop fall 2025, which means a release will take place between July and September, and the retail price will be $180. Also, they will be available in full family sizing. I'm not going to spend too much time on this shoe, which is the Air Jordan 10 still, just because in the previous video I talked about them. I went over some of the history. Yes, they're still expected to have a leather toe cap, or I should say an extra piece on the toe cap. But in my previous video, what I was talking about is basically that this shoe was no longer on the list of summer 2025 releases. Now, I speculated if it was possibly moved to fall or even holiday 2025, but I did receive confirmation that this pair will drop fall 2025. So that means the release will take place between July and September. So the reason why they delayed it, at least from what I was told, is that Jordan Brand decided to add in the Air Jordan 8 Aqua to summer 2025. And because of that, I guess there's too many OGs and too many older retros dropping, and then they moved the shoes to fall. Now, I know a lot of people are hoping that with the delay that maybe they're rethinking this whole toe cap thing. And at this point, they are expected to feature the toe cap, but anything is possible. They could change their mind. Obviously, they haven't gone into production yet. I'm sure there's some samples that have been made, but hopefully Jordan Brand has been reading what people have been saying online, because a lot of people do not want the extra piece on the toe. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there are some fans. I've seen the comments, but I do feel the majority wishes that they wouldn't have the leather toe cap. So as of now, they are expected to drop sometime in fall. Originally, they were supposed to drop on May 24th, and no retail price as of yet, although I've heard $210, but that isn't confirmed. about a month ago or so, Z and I broke the news that the Air Jordan 10 Shadow would be returning in 2025. Now, at that time, we didn't know which season it would be part of from Jordan Brand. All we know is that they were going to return, but with the toe cap as well. Now, the Shadow 10 is a little bit different from the Still, and I'll get to that in a moment, but I can confirm that the shoes are part of Jordan Brand's Fall 2025 collection. So both the Jordan 10 Still and the Jordan 10 Shadow will drop for fall. And I thought maybe one or the other might have got pushed or maybe pushed to holiday season, but that isn't the case as of now. Now, with the Still 10 having the toe cap, although people don't like it, it does make sense. The shoes did release back in the day, but they were recalled. People didn't like them. Now, the Shadow 10 was not released with the toe cap. There was a sample made. There's images going around with the toe cap, obviously the photo that I have here, but I'll probably add in some other images of the OG Shadow 10 without the toe cap, which I'm sure most of you prefer. So for them to add the toe cap to this pair really doesn't make sense to me. Now, this pair has released a few times in the past, 3 in total. The original release took place in 1994. This is one of multiple OG colorways. And then we saw the shoes release in 2008, but this time it came packaged with the Air Jordan 13, part of the Countdown Pack series. Basically, 2 shoes equaled the number 23, which helped celebrate the release of the Air Jordan 23. Now, that release was different compared to the OG Shadow. It was more like MJ's PE. MJ's PE, though, had the number 45 stitched on the ankle, but the Countdown Pack actually had the number 23. The last time we saw the shoes released was in 2018, and it does seem like a lot of you guys like this shoe. Reading past comments on a previous video, a lot of you picked them up. You were happy with them, but you were unhappy with the fact that the shoes were now going to feature a toe cap. So it is unfortunate, but I know there's some people who don't mind the toe cap. This pair will release fall 2025, and the retail price is expected to be $210. Now, at the time of recording, I don't know if they'll release in full family sizing, but I should have more information very soon. So I have an update on the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. Now, initially, the plans from Jordan Brand were to release the French Blue 2.0, at least that's what we were calling it. Now, the pair was supposed to be slightly different. It was going to feature suede on the mudguard, and the plate on the side was supposed to have red. So the overall blocking was similar to the French Blue, but not on point. So that's the reason why we called it 2.0. Now, this came from multiple inside sources that we have, not just myself, but Z and a couple other people. But unfortunately for that shoe, but good for, I'm sure, a lot of people, is Jordan Brand has decided to just release the Air Jordan 12 French Blue. So I can now confirm that the Air Jordan 12 French Blue will be released fall 2024. I know a lot of people were upset about the 2.0 version, and it does make sense. It's close to the original release, but it's not on point. Personally, I would rather have the French Blue pair myself. So I'm glad that things have changed behind the scenes, and now we're going to get this. Now, the 2025 pair will feature a white, French Blue, metallic silver, and varsity red colorway. So basically on point to the last release. Now, initially they were just going to change up the coloring, but that's no longer going to be the case. Now, to run it back, a little bit of history. For those who don't know, this pair was originally released in 2004. It's not an OG colorway, but it is a popular one. Now, this pair was also worn by Kobe Bryant. I'll have some images in this video. And Carmelo Anthony wore this pair. He wore it before the release on December 2nd, 2003, which makes sense. He was signed to Jordan Brand. And he wore them during his first matchup against LeBron James. Now, the last time we saw the shoes drop was in 2016. I don't own the 2004 release, but I do have the 2016. I used to have the 2004. I wore them, and I don't know what happened to them. I think I sold them or got rid of them. They were pretty beat. Now, the images used is the 2016 pair. The blocking and the materials are supposed to look on point to this. So it is kind of crazy because 2025 is a very strong year for Air Jordan 12 releases. We have the French Blue. We also have the Mellow returning. But as far as OGs go, we have the Flu Game Air Jordan 12 and the Taxi Air Jordan 12. So A very, very strong year for OG 12s and older retros. Now, I would say, and I'm getting a lot of questions about the Air Jordan 13, about the Bred colorway or any other OG colorway, and I haven't heard anything yet, but it's a bit odd. I think we should get at least one. I don't know if that will be the case. As well, we should be getting the Air Jordan 7. I do know of an Air Jordan 7, but it's not going to be the way everybody wants it. And I'm waiting to get a first look. I'm going to do a mock-up and show you guys before I officially unveil that. At this point, Jordan Brand is definitely trolling the Jordan 7 guy. But for this pair, they're going to drop fall 2025. They'll be available in full family sizing, and the retail price in men's will be $200. At the time of recording, I don't have the retail price breakdown for grade school, preschool, and toddler just yet. Depending on what you like, some are going to say I saved the best for last. I know my friend Ali in the comment section will definitely think so, and I'm sure a lot of you as well. But the Air Jordan 5 Fire Red with the black tongue will be returning in fall 2025. So this is exclusive news to you guys. I've heard about rumors about this pair for several months now, but I can now confirm they are on track to drop fall 2025, and I'm super excited about this release. This is an original colorway which dropped back in 1990, and of course they're returning to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Jordan 5. Now, in 2020, I believe we saw the Fire Red Air Jordan 5 return with the silver tongue. Not many people were happy about that. They wanted the black tongue pair to release, and over the last several months, people have been asking about this shoe. I kind of teased about it on Instagram. I posted about it. Would you like to see it return type stuff. I heard about it, but it wasn't confirmed at that point, so of course I didn't want to just throw that out there. And other than the 1990 release, we saw the pair drop in 2006. And then the last time we saw them release was in 2013. Now, I own the 1990 pair. I own the 2006 and 2013. So when these release, or around the time, maybe a month before, I will be doing a video on those. Believe me, a whole lineup of all of them. MJ also wore this pair along with the silver tongue. And the silver tongue, he wore a PE version of that as well with the number 23 stitched, like the black tongue pair, but it didn't have the black embroidery. The red was a little bit more vibrant as well. So for the 2025 release, they are expected to have the number 23 stitched, of course, Nike Air on the heels, and of course a black tongue. Now, at the time of recording, they are expected to drop fall 2025, which means the release will take place between July and September. The retail price is expected to be $210, although that isn't confirmed. Now, more than likely this pair will release in full family sizing. I just don't have confirmation on that. And 2025 is looking like just a great year in general. But for 2025, we have the Black Metallic Reimagined dropping. We also have the Air Jordan 5 Grape and this pair. So if I had to pick between these three, like which would be my number one, better yet, let me put them in order. The number one pair would be the Fire Red Air Jordan 5. Number two would be the Grape Air Jordan 5. And number three would be the Black Metallic Reimagined. Now, if the Black Metallic pair was the OG, then that would be in the number 2 spot. But since it's reimagined and it's not like the OG, it's going to be my number 3. But don't get me wrong, all three are must pickups for me. Let me know down in the comment section below how you rate these upcoming OG Air Jordan 5s. And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. I want to apologize. Yesterday I was supposed to drop either a short or the review of the Black Toe Air Jordan 14. Unfortunately, I got this information in and I wanted to prep for this video because it looks like I'm going to be dropping maybe one more news video this week. So I may move the Black Toe Reimagined Air Jordan 14 video to next week just because I got to get this information out. I want to start incorporating reviews on this channel, but the number one thing for me is just continuing the news. I got half of my setup done as well. It's going to be like how I did reviews in 2016 around that era, but it's going to be different. A lot more B-roll, a lot more entertaining, I would say. I hope so. Now for shorts, I may drop one. It just depends on the rest of the information that I'm getting right now. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.